We chatted with the folks at the 58th Annual Midwest Banjo Fest and Jamboree. We hit on the origins of the festival, what people can expect from the multi-venue music fest, as well as where they can join a jam. Finally, we dive into what is new at America's longest-running musical family reunion celebrating America's instrument. You can find more conversations, food reviews, live music, and events on our website, lacrosselocal.com. I'm Amy.
And I'm Brent.
And this is Lacrosse Local.
My name is Neil Duresky, and I was born in La Crosse, Wisconsin, lived through all my life except 4 years in the Air Force and 1 year in Holman. So what brought me to the Midwest Banjo Fest is that I'm a member, past commander of the American Legion in La Crosse. And for a number of years, the Jamboree show was held at the American Legion in La Crosse. And I just happened to walk in one Sunday and heard all this banjo music in the other room and went in and sat down a while and listened, and that was about 15 years ago, and I kept going every year to listen to the big Jamboree. And then about 5 years ago, I was asked to be a bass player who would play backup for some of the people who appeared on stage to do their performances, and also became a member of a group known as the Banjo Busters that plays parlor music from the early 1900s, all arranged for banjo.
Wow. So, I mean, being involved in it for 15 years, it's actually 58 years old, right? This will be the 58th annual one?
That's right. It's 58 years old. And in the early 60s, a group of guys in Minneapolis area got together just as friends in the basement, started playing, and that turned into a jamboree in Minneapolis. And guys from Wisconsin ended up going up there. And about 40 years ago, those guys moved the Midwest Banjo Club from Minneapolis down to La Crosse. So it's been here for at least 40 years.
For people unfamiliar with the festival, what can people expect? I hear you have crowds coming from different states all around Wisconsin. And
what you can expect is a talent from beginner to intermediate to professional playing America's music on America's instruments. That's really what got me involved in it, is the spirit of the music that's played. It's probably better referred to as Dixieland or riverboat music. La Crosse has a history of riverboats coming up here. It's even rumored that Louis Armstrong and Hoagie Carr may have been on the boats that came up and down the river here playing this kind of music. It's just a bunch of people who love the instrument and who've made tremendous friendships over the years getting together for these events. And what people would see is, for example, Friday night at last year and this year now, it was the La Crosse Beer House from 6 to 9, where a local group called the Pearl Street Banjo Band started out by playing about a half hour, 40 minutes, and then other people just sit in and start playing along and have a jam session for another 3 hours. And that also happens at Houghton's on Saturday, has for years at Houghton's. And then last year we changed the structure. Instead of a Sunday show, we went to a Saturday night show at the Concordia Hall. And that's where individuals can perform, duos, quartets. The group called the Banjo Busters, about 8 or 9 people that play this parlor music. Any level of talent is welcome to go up and try their stuff. It gives them a chance to start performing if they haven't performed. Lets them sit alongside some people who've been doing it for years. We've got 3 people who are referred to as La Crosse kids on the website: Johnny Beyer, Paul Erickson, and Debbie Schreier. All 3 are now in the Banjo Hall of Fame.
Wow.
They've all become professional banjoists after their starts here.
Just reading through your website, and I apologize. I'm from La Crosse and I'm born and raised, and I've never been to this festival. And, it's just something I've been able to check out over the past couple of days and really dig into it.
It is probably one of the best kept gems in La Crosse as far as music. La Crosse has got a wealth and breadth of music talent that we enjoy in all genres. But yeah, this group has been here for over 40 years, and the auspices of the Midwest Banjo Club, which is strictly an informal group. There's no formal structure, and it's not incorporated. It's just a bunch of people having a nice, loose social club. where they play banjo music. And the only place that's generally been advertised is, well, it has been advertised in posters around town. And occasionally there's media coverage such as yours that's appeared. But the group has really never gone whole hog as far as advertising. Don't know why, but it's starting to do a little better on that end the last couple of years.
So, I mean, you just kind of talked about being a family in some sense. On your website, you have is America's longest running musical family reunion celebrating America's instrument. So with that, last couple of years, pandemic's been around, or 18 months. How is this festival weathered with that?
There basically have been historically 4 banjo festivals in the Midwest. The North American International Banjo Convention in Dearborn, Michigan, at what's known as the All Frets Conference, where it's a formal nonprofit of fretted instruments, and that includes all fretted instruments. They generally have a show. Then there's been a group in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and then La Crosse. And last year, La Crosse was the only function as far as a banjo festival that occurred. The other 3 didn't happen. In fact, it's my understanding the folks down in Hot Springs, Arkansas, sort of aged out. So that leaves the All Frets Conference and Dearborn and us. So last year we were the only show, and we had people here from 10 states, from Florida to California to Michigan to Texas. There are younger guys, not real young. Well, there have been real young kids that are involved, but they're growing up. But it's an attempt at preserving America's music and America's instrument. I think that's what brings people together the most. They're proud of the music they play, and it's a kind of happy music. One of the guys that comes up from Texas also plays bass, and he played bass with Ray Price's Cherokee Cowboys on the last of the Breed tour with Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard.
Oh, cool.
So there's some good instrumentalists. We've had a gentleman come every couple of years who is a dentist out in the East Coast who's appeared in Carnegie Hall playing violin. There's just a large number of professional banjo players or accomplished banjo players, and then beginners and intermediate. What drew me and what still draws me is the camaraderie and just the good music.
Happening September 16th through the 18th, 2022. You listed quite a few there, but is there something specifically that you're excited for this year?
I'm excited for it this year. I'm looking for a bigger crowd, God willing. We're doing advertising in some banjo publications, so we'll see what that does. I'm looking for a good time. I enjoy the friendships I've made with these banjo players. I even, since I'm a bass player, I took the next step and bought a bass banjo
that
I play. So one thing people really look forward to is the Sunday afternoon banjo cruise on the American Queen. La Crosse Queen.
So if people want to find out more, what's the best spot to send them to?
Best spot is to check out our website, MidwestBanjoFest.com.
La Crosse Local Podcast is a production of River Travel Media. Do you have an interview idea you'd like to share with us? Message us on Facebook at La Crosse Local. Find out more about us at lacrosselocal.com, and you can subscribe to the La Crosse Local Podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We appreciate it.